So along with all the comping that we've done, let's just kind of focus now a little bit on the bass drum playing that rhythm, because that can really tangle up sometimes the ride cymbal. And as I spoke earlier regarding technique, it's really imperative to understand how to let the stick to actually naturally swing as opposed to just playing it. And I'll demonstrate. Here are two different ways. That's a tension way. I can always lock into that. Remember, what's the difference if you don't know the difference? Get down and figure out how to really make it loose and open. You can always add tension later on. That's the easy part. So here's a looser way, and watch how the stick pivots over the balance point, nice and easy. Focus on trying to build that characteristic in your playing. Okay, continuing on, I will now add the bass drum as a comping device against the ride cymbal and hi-hat, and we will default to number 1 on page 34 just for simplicity. Here we go. So there's some bass drum underneath the ride cymbal, and that's a very calculated way of at least learning to get your bass drum to be a little more controlled against your ride cymbal and not let the bass drum rhythm disrupt the fluidity of the ride cymbal. So regarding bass drum approach, there are 3 primary approaches that I would utilize. The first being heel down. I would probably use that as my starting point. You could play heel up, and when I say heel up, that really means that your heel's not too far off the floor. You're resting on the ball of your foot and still allowing the beater ball to strike and release against the bass drum head. And the third would be the approach that Freddie Gruber shared with me, and that was called the constant release. That's nothing more than a tap dance routine. Some people call it heel toe, toe heel. Steve Gadd demonstrates it in his first video up close, and it was a primary approach that I was privy to when I was a student of Freddie Gruber's for many years. And so I would use some of those elements of dropping in as well, but really, truly, to let the beater ball strike off the head and not push into the head. You can use the push into the head, nothing wrong with it, but you want to develop that other sensibility so you get a nice clean tone out of your bass drum.